All righty. So we are now on the low voice hook. And, when I turned the video cameras off, I just noticed after doing this in the last take, if I look at the strings, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to hold it up close to the left-hand camera. You can see that the B string, if you look up here, is too close to the G string. So the string, I bent the string, and then the capo reclamped the string bent. Okay, so you might be wondering, how do I get around that? Well, one is I don't normally use this capo. It's a great capo, the G7. I don't normally use this. I use a Planet Waves capo with a screw when I perform. So watch. I'm going to put that capo on, and let's see what happens with the string bend. Okay, I'm back. I've now put this Planet Waves capo on. I have no commercial affiliation with them. I'm just talking about what works. This is a kind with a screw here that I can tighten. Matter of fact, I'll take it off and I'll show it to you in the left-hand camera. It looks like that. See? And so I put that on. I tighten the screw. This is the one I use on gigs. This is the #1 capo. And when I bend, and if I look at the strings, lo and behold, they've stayed in place. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So now, let's get down to business. We're at what's called the low voice hook. So we've done the regular hook, get back, right? This thing. And then we did the guitar solo. In the last video. And now, what is this low voice hook? Well, if you listen to the original Beatles version, they have another hook where they go, get back, oh, get back. And it's with much lower voices. Get back to where you once belonged. Instead of get back, where Paul McCartney's singing it up high. And Paul and John sing this together. So I do a similar idea. Here's what I do for the low voice hook. Okay. This is 7th fret, back strike, and then the D and G string with one finger. I have to always remember. I think I do it all with my first finger, but that could change from night to night, okay? Okay, I think it is the first finger. And if you want to be extra squeaky clean, you can kind of get the feeling of your middle and ring finger on the top two on the way back up so that you don't hit them. So you'll have to work on, and not only will you have to work on it, but I'll have to work on getting that accurate. Okay, and now let me show you what I do with the bass line. This is beautiful because we have open strings ringing. This time I do a little hammer on because it's bluesier, and then only the pinky there, and then I strum. Twice. And then kind of plucking these either 2 or 3 strings. It's okay if the D string gets in there. Main thing is get back. Then get back to where I'm trying to mute everything else. Just have these 2 come through. And then have just this note with the A string. Get back to where you once, and then belonged. It's hard to tell what notes that are being sung, so I just go. So that might not be the right melody notes, but we hear the phrase. That's the main thing. I do that sometimes. Separate those. Then a good old cowboy chord, E chord, and then that is the filler chord. I'm going to play this for you. Now we do that phrase twice. I'm going to play that for you slowly. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to stop there on that open A string, because there's a little figure that happens right there at the end of the low voice hook that's characteristic for the song, and I want to dedicate a separate video to that, since we're already about 6 or 7 minutes deep right now. Okay, and I'm going to call that the 4 chord in sixths. So don't worry, I know that's very theoretical, but that's coming in the next video. All right. Alrighty, so we've been in what I was calling the low voice hook, and we are now at this cool keyboard lick played by a keyboardist who played very often with the Beatles. Great composer, singer, keyboardist. His name is Billy Preston. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not. I need to look, but I don't think he is. I'm not sure. And so let me explain to you what I mean by the 4 chord in sixths. Okay, we're going to be on what looks like an A7 chord. We're capoed up. It's actually a C7 in reality. And watch what I'm going to do here. So play the A7 shape. That's just these 2 strings, and watch the A string. So we're going to go. Then we're going to lift off and play all open strings. And then we're going to finger this bass note at the 8th fret, which is the same bass note, only fretted. And we're going to do. Okay. So these intervals, Figaro, are called sixths. Sixths, S-I-X-ths. It's very hard to say. Okay, so it's going to sound like this. He plays this on a Fender Rhodes. And mind you, this section will get an extra bar. It's going to be like 5 bars, which you'll see on the help file, because we're going to let things hang in the air a little bit. Okay, so we've got the low voice hook. I'm going to play this real slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Second phrase. Now watch. And boom. Okay, now that's a percussion thing that I like to do. I noticed in my original YouTube video, I played something a little bit different, but that's kind of what I've been developing lately. Let me do that one more time. I'm going to play the second phrase of this low voice hook just so we can get to this chord thing sooner so you can see it. One more time. 1, 2. This is the second phrase. 1, 2, 3. And then we're at the keyboard solo, because Billy Preston actually takes a really cool gospel-y kind of keyboard solo, which I've tried to approximate on the guitar. So let's go to the next video, and I'll show you how we can attack that keyboard solo. God bless. And I'll show you how we can attack that keyboard solo. All right. Welcome back. We're now at the keyboard solo, and just so you know, this is one of the reasons that I moved the capo down to the 3rd fret. As I mentioned in the intro video, it was originally at the 5th fret, but we've got to get up 1 octave up from the capo. So I can do it on this guitar because I have a cutaway, but it becomes extremely difficult if you don't have a cutaway. If you don't have a cutaway and this high note thing is tricky, you can get the same effect by doing it an octave lower. So I'll cover that. Now, very important through this, with this thing, it should sound, how can I say, the flow and airiness in the time is the most important thing. And so we're going to flop this right hand finger back and forth just like we're kind of like we're playing funk guitar or something. It almost sounds like Prince or something. We're going to do that, and I really try to keep my mind on boom, 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 so that the top part of the music doesn't take us off the groove. It'll take you a little bit of an adjustment, but you're going to have to think a little bit more like a rhythm guitar player for this part. Okay, I'm using my pinky to get the top 2 strings at the 15th fret, 1st finger muting so that I can be careless over here. Okay, so the first rhythm that I try to do is what I just played for you. Ooh, bop, 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 ba, bop. So I'm sliding up to that in the 12th fret. And this can be sloppy. It doesn't need to be this is not classical guitar where it needs to be a neat thing. I want you to get a little bit dirty, get a little bit messy. It's fine. Okay. You know, I don't really play a 3rd bass note. I kind of go bump. Whoops. Okay. Next. So what? Let me show you that. Then, sorry. Those are the notes that I'm going. Those are the notes that I'm going for. Again, I don't always get that backstrike as clear as I'd like, but as long as the phrase comes out timing-wise right, that's the main thing. Okay. And sometimes I'm not even attacking this note with that hand. I'm kind of doing that, but the pull-offs make noise. See? So it's this bluesy, messy kind of thing. I know I'm justifying being messy and not clean, but I can't reiterate enough, you know, it's what I'm going for, and I'm not there yet, but what I'm going for in a right-hand technique is reliability and attention to groove over details. And this is one way to do it, and I'm not always happy with the details being a little sloppy, but I try to approach it like a bass player. So then next, you're going to watch what you're going to do. You're going to come down and you're going to finger what we call normally a diminished chord. Okay, so you're going to do thumb, index, and notice I put my thumb on the 3rd string to get it ready. And you're going to do your best to do, except you're going to do it real fast. And it's okay if you don't get all the notes cleared. Now, I don't always get all those clear. Okay. Okay, so thumb. I just play one bass note. If you're doing this with a thumb pick or a flat pick, that'll make it easier because you can rake it downward to get this, to get those notes. It's easy with a downward pick rake, okay? At least for me. And then you're gonna go, it's gonna be bop, bop. I think I plucked that with my fingers. Let me see, I gotta play that up to speed. I'm just plucking the outer strings, but I'm fingering an A chord here. And then I'm 2nd finger and barring the 1st finger, so I'm getting 3 notes with 2 fingers. And then hammering on the 1st finger to like an E7 shape. That so far? So that's the first 2 bars of the keyboard solo. Let's stop here since we're about 7 minutes in and do the next video on bars 3 and 4 of the keyboard solo. All right. All righty. So we are back and I'm going to show you what you could do on bars 3 and 4 of this keyboard solo. Now, I played just the high thing, this rhythm guitar, funk rhythm guitar thing with the 1st finger that I showed you. I do a slightly different rhythm sometimes. Now, but I leave the diminished chord. I leave that thing because it's, once you get it, that's so tricky. I don't want to do a variation on that. I want to enjoy being able to play that. Okay, so you don't have to do this variation. This is just a memory from the recording, the original recording of the Beatles. So let me show you what I do instead of bop, 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 bop. That's what we did on the first one. Let me repeat that. 1, 2, 3, and okay, so I do something really similar. It's just a slight little variation where I'm going to start with a slide up into the 12th fret. So it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to end. Okay, so I'm going to play that whole solo for you now. And remember, the only thing that's going to change are the little rhythmic ideas up here on the 12th and 15th fret. So here we go. I'm going to go even slower. Bang. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, so that's just kind of a neat little texture change, because we've got that guitar solo, which is this single line thing, right? And then we've got this nice, so we're getting to different ranges in the guitar and kind of expanding the range of what we are playing for our listener. So even if you don't get this whole like diminished chord thing down here, you can just, you can maybe make something else up that sounds good. But this is a real nice little thing to just get that high tone color in there. So this section is a cool section. So let's move on to the next video. All right. Alrighty, so we are almost done with learning all the musical material, and then we're going to work on the form of the song, meaning where are verses, where are the hooks, where are the solos, in which order. But what I'd like to do before we put all the pieces together is just show you how I end the arrangement so that you have so that you can get that under your fingers a little bit, and then in the next video we will put the whole song together. Okay, we're going to end with one of the hooks, one of the normal voice hooks, and then after the second phrase we're going to do our 4-chord thing, and then I like to add a low A and then a G string. Now watch, first and second finger. So I'm playing the top 3 strings with the low A string, and you can be very free with how you do this. You can even, this is like a bluesy cadenza. And then I do second and third finger, razzling between these 2 frets. And then I play what looks like a 3-finger E7 chord. So I'm going, and then I hammer the first finger on, I go. And now watch what I'm going to do. I'm strumming with my first finger, or with my thumb. But I can use my first finger a little bit more easily. And I'm going to slide this whole thing up slowly, 12 frets. So it's kind of a sound of confusion, and then I'm going to end with a bap, where I hit the low E string. Now, of course, if you don't have a cutaway on your guitar, you don't have to slide up 12 frets. That might be too strenuous on a regular full-body guitar. So let me play this for you once at tempo. I'm going to play it right at the tempo that I'd play the tune. Second phrase of the last hook. Okay? 1, 2, second phrase. Okay? So that's my song ending. You can vary that. Please do. You don't have to play my thing exactly, but it's a nice way to get out of the song and leave with a bang. So let's go to the next video where we finally put the whole song form together. All right. All righty, congratulations. If you've gotten this far, you have learned all the material you need to learn on Get Back. And the cool thing is, it's so bluesy and it's so general that you can actually kind of mix this stuff up as you like. You don't need to do it exactly to the T of what I'm going to show you in this video. I'm going to show you how I do it. Now, I play it slightly shorter than the Beatles. I leave one jam section and one chorus off because it just works better, I feel, for a solo guitar arrangement. So what I'm going to do is play very slowly and talk the form down at the same time that I do it. And what I suggest is refer to the help file and refer to the original Beatles recording so you can hear this in action and know exactly which sections I'm referencing. So we're going to take each of these sections now and just put them together into the song form. So here we go. We're going to start with the intro. Okay, I'm going to give a slow tempo and hopefully I won't speed up. Okay, boom, chick, don't, chick, don't, chick, don't, chick. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, intro. Going to the first verse. Hook. Guitar riff. Low voice. With the ending. Now keyboard solo. Verse. Hook. Guitar riff. Last hook. To the bluesy ending. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the form. Now, while this might seem like a lot of different things to remember, I'm gonna highlight something now on the screen. If you just remember verse, hook, guitar riff, if you think of those three things as a unit, then you get a bigger building block and it's a little easier to memorize. So that's it. That's Get Back. Do your best, do your best to discover how to make this thing pump and groove and stay relaxed, keep it bluesy. And like I said, when in doubt, and this is something that I'm confronting in my own playing, look for the easiest possible, most confident, flopping around kind of way over here. So that you can keep that groove happening in the melody. And tune your precision with the left hand muting to just basically stop undesired strings from ringing. That's so key in at least the way that I approach this piece. I can't stress that enough. But of course, you do your thing. I can't wait to hear your version of it. And I very much hope that you have enjoyed this lesson. God bless.